Hello and welcome to the Eagle's Nest, Ep.6. Today we welcome on a good friend of mine, like a brother, Bryan Blackshear. Bryan, you are big into gaming, big into comics, big into movies. This episode we're going to be talking about the MCU. We're going to be talking about new games coming out with the Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS4, PS5, because now all those are compatible with each other in the games that are being released so far, at least. We're going to be talking about the new releases coming up and all that kind of good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy. How did we meet? We met back in middle school, correct?
Yeah.
What was it, sixth grade? Yeah, and we had math class together,
yes.
Right? That's where we first met. And I remember back in middle school, at least, you were a very shy kid.
Yeah.
You've definitely blossomed over time. You've definitely you have a lot bigger friend group now. You know, I think being in Binghamton, you really were able to create a good friendship with people, right?
Yeah. Coming back here after having moved away was definitely probably the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
Because I was able to meet all of my friends now you guys are all my brothers. So
yeah.
Literally all the things that led to coming back to here, I feel like were worth it.
Yeah. No, I'm glad. I'm glad that you feel that way because I'm glad to have you here. Like, I mean, life would not have been the same without you here.
Oh, for sure.
You know, we've had some good times together. A lot of good birthdays, a lot of good sleepovers, all that kind of good stuff.
Shout out to breaking the table.
Yeah. Oh my God. So quick, we're going to go off topic real quick because I want to tell that story. That was a funny story. So what was it, like my 13th birthday?
Yeah, I think so.
So it was like my 13th birthday, and so my family, we like to go camping. We go to this racetrack. We go to this music festival, this blues festival. And so for that, my father bought a pop-up camper for our family. And I think it was the year that we bought the camper, and I don't even think we had used the camper yet. And in a pop-up camper, they have a table that folds down into a bed. They have a little stove, a little sink, a couple other beds on the side, a queen and a king. And so for my 13th birthday, I was having some buddies come over and sleep over. And Bryan picked the table bed and was probably sitting on that for like a solid 2 seconds, and it just snapped right now. And that was my birthday. And I think, was that the same birthday I got shot in the eye too? Yeah, it was a pretty bad birthday, but looking back, it's pretty funny. It's a good birthday looking back, but yeah. So let's move on. Let's get started. So these new consoles dropped. We have the Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, which is the digital version of the Xbox Series X. The specs are a little bit lower. We also have the PS5 that's coming out or came out. Have you looked at any of the lineups for exclusive games?
I know PlayStation has Godfall, which wasn't very good. I watched a lot of reviews about that and watched gameplay and things, and I was like, this game looks beautiful, but is very bland. It has nothing to it, really. And then, other than that, obviously, Spider-Man Miles Morales. I really want to play that game.
I know, I want to get it too.
Phenomenal. So that was a +1 on, just off that.
Yeah.
And then Demon's Souls looks really good too for a remaster. It's technically not a new game, but basically it is now. And I can't think of anything else that they had that was really striking. And then it's sad to say, but Xbox didn't really have much in the way of a launch lineup. But the Game Pass, I feel like, supersedes any of that need.
Kind of makes up for it. That Game Pass is really nice. Ultimate. And now too, Xbox, they just bought out Bethesda.
Yes,
so we're going to be getting all Bethesda games as exclusives, or at least most of them.
That Microsoft's been making have been crazy.
It's crazy. Do you know how much they spent on Bethesda? It was something ridiculous.
I feel like it was almost, if not $1 billion.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was about $1 billion,
yeah.
right? Yeah, that's crazy. You know, and I've always thought that PlayStation has had better exclusives in the past. You know, like The Last of Us. When No Man's Sky first came out, that was hugely acclaimed and everything, and then it came out and then it was complete garbage. And so funny story about that. I mean, Spider-Man as well. I had bought my PlayStation 4 for Spider-Man and for No Man's Sky because I thought it was going to be great.
That was unfortunate.
And it was terrible. But now I use my PlayStation for VR games and stuff. I have an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4. What do you think about the past lineups? Do you think that PlayStation has had better exclusives, or?
I think since PlayStation 4, they've had a better lineup, and now into the next generation as well, because Xbox kind of dropped the ball. And when Xbox One launched, like a lot of the DRM protections and things they were trying to make, like they were crazy.
Yeah.
And it was good that they rolled them back, but the damage they did was like irreparable. And then on top of that, they hadn't delivered on the games they had promised. Like Crackdown 3 came out this year, didn't it?
I think so,
and
yeah.
that was supposed to come out when the Xbox One came out. So it's like Xbox is really good at being good for the consumer. Like a lot of the sales we have, the Xbox going on sale, the options for buying Xboxes, like the leasing that Microsoft does. I think they are a lot better for the consumer and the gaming community, but Sony just has the better cold hard lineups, has the developer talent behind them, and they know how to direct it better, I feel like, because I don't know if Microsoft really, it's good that they don't interfere, but I feel like they let them be aloof too much.
Yeah, there's not really any structure. They're just kind of like, yeah, make it, we want it, but and I think that Xbox has had some good exclusives in the past. Like Halo, for example. But the thing with Halo is, as Halo progressed and more games came out, in my opinion at least, it got worse and worse and worse.
And that's because they lost their developers because Bungie left. And 343 is comprised of like Bungie employees, but it's the ones that were probably trying to be really innovative but couldn't get the groundwork laid for it, so it led to a lot of ideas being like unfinished and being unpolished, and that's transferred into the newer Halos. Even the Master Chief Collection, that game came out when the Xbox One came out, and it finally has stable servers for its multiplayer.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I the last Halo game that I played that I liked was Halo Reach. We played that a lot, and that was back on the 360.
Yes, that was the end of the 360.
And I mean, it just says that, like, at least for me, like, that's just like, how have they dropped the ball that much?
I don't know.
And what's another exclusive that Xbox has? Oh, well, Gears. Forza is really good. Gears. I like the first few Gears. I haven't played the last 4 or 5.
I played Gears 4, and I have yet to play Gears 5, and it's good. It's like it's Gears.
Yeah.
That's like the thing with Gears is like it's gonna be the same pretty much.
Yeah.
And then that's also therein lies the problem, is that you can't really do too much.
Yeah. No, I agree. So with these new consoles that are coming out, VR is getting more progressive and getting better technology behind it. And I recently saw, before the Xbox Series X had dropped, I saw a promo of their Xbox's virtual reality system. Did you see it?
The HoloLens, right?
I think so. Yeah, that's what it's called. But the controllers look just like Oculus controllers. Do you know when they're supposed to drop that?
I think it's like on hold now.
Yeah.
Because they had released like a prototype to people, and like they used it, but it was like really early, and then after that they hadn't like done anything else.
Yeah. Like
they had just brought it back, and then didn't really say anything more about it.
Yeah. Because that's the future of gaming right there, and I love virtual reality. I hope at some point we get to the point where we can do full Sword Art Online or something and dive into the game. That'd be awesome. So cool. But or even Ready Player One, where you put a suit on and you're in the game. That would be really cool. I mean, we're kind of getting to that point. They have like suits that have sensors on them and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the haptic suits. Those are really cool, actually. Just like the thought of them, because I don't know, because it's kind of scary also.
Yeah. But like you get shot and you can feel it. Like,
yeah,
you can be like, I just got shot in the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. So where do you see VR going? Like, do you think that we're going to get to a point like that?
I hope so, but I'm also afraid. Like, I hope we don't have anything that's like fully invasive, like how what you were saying, like full dive from like Sao.
Yeah.
I don't think I want them to be able to like shut me down as a human being. No,
exactly.
Yeah.
No, I get you.
But I definitely think something like that would be super duper cool.
Yeah,
I think we're getting there technologically enough where that's like possible. Where we could even do things.
It'll be like really going into the Matrix.
For real.
Yeah, if we're not already in the Matrix. But So do you have any virtual reality games that you looked at that you thought were going to be really cool?
The only one I've really seen extensively is Half-Life Alyx, and that's technically Half-Life 3, so I guess people got what they want finally. And it looks really good. That's probably the best VR game I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Just the polish on it and everything. It's all of them combined to be the best they can be. Because other than that, I've seen what is it? Beat Saber. That's the music game.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That is wicked cool.
And there's this other game too. Another, I don't know what it's called, but it's you're in this arena. It's a VR game, and you have an assortment of weapons, and then you just have this enemy that you can attack, and you can literally do anything you want to them. You can do super moves, you jump into the air.
Oh, that's cool.
And slam them, and that was the coolest thing I've seen. And it's Half-Life Alyx seems to take all these best aspects from the best VR games that currently existed, and then fold it into one, and, in a cohesive experience. It's a shooter in the Half-Life universe, and that's of course what everybody wants.
Exactly, yeah. I played with the PlayStation. I had played that Resident Evil Biohazard. That was a good one, but that one gave me crazy motion sickness every time I played it. And because literally you don't turn around, you just spin. Oh. So it's just after an hour and a half of playing, you're I feel sick.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
But another one that I played and I showed Grace, it comes with the trial. Is there's a tank game where you get in a tank. I think you might have played it.
I think you showed me that.
Yeah, and you can go and you can shoot all the other tanks and fly in
fun.
Helicopters and stuff. That one's a really cool one. I played the Batman VR game.
How was that?
It was good, but my problem is I should have gotten the sticks. I played with the controller, so it wasn't as realistic. But it was still wicked fun. It was really cool. Going into the Batcave, suiting up.
You did all that?
Oh, yeah, you do all that.
I thought it was just a flight simulator.
Nope, you go in, you're Batman. You do detective work. It's really cool.
That's actually fun.
I won't spoil it for anyone if they haven't played it yet. But the other game I really want to check out is, the Spider-Man VR. And I also want to check out that Iron Man VR. But I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with that. So, because maybe if I'm lucky, they'll decide that they'll pull a No Man's Sky and it'll go over to Xbox when they have their VR. Because I'm going to be getting an Xbox first. But yeah, I mean, if I can get a VR for the Xbox, I will not be buying another PlayStation. That's just how it is. I was going to definitely buy another PlayStation if The Last of Us Part 2 was any good. But I just want to punch the developers in the face because they just completely spit on the fans. And yeah, I mean, I will not buy another PS5. Just not going to happen. Unless they come out with some crazy game that I'm super hyped for.
I respect that.
But yeah, I mean, I've always been an Xbox guy. All my friends play Xbox.
Yeah, that's been the wave since we were young.
Yeah, it's forever. Just the way it is, and that's the console that I grew up playing too. I played an Xbox, the original Xbox and the Xbox 360. It's just how it was.
That was my first true gaming experience because I had a PlayStation before I had an Xbox, but I was finally old enough when I played the Xbox for the first time, and I remember playing through the first Halo Combat Evolved with my brother, and that was the greatest thing ever to me. I have those are my fondest memories of playing video games.
Yeah, no, the first time, my first console that I ever had was it wasn't really a console. It was a PlayStation Portable, PSP. And then I got the Wii later on. That was my first console that I got. My dad did not want to get it for me because, once I start playing video games, then I'm not going to be playing with friends. But, I mean, even at my age then, we were at the time where everyone was getting them and nobody was playing outside anymore anyway. So it sucked either way. So yeah, then I got that. And then my aunt's boyfriend at the time, my cousin's father, he got me into Call of Duty Black Ops, and that was on the 360, and we played zombies. We played zombies for 6 hours straight, and that is what got me into Xbox, and that's what got me into Call of Duty. And I played professionally with Call of Duty. I love zombies. The new Black Ops that came out is money.
I heard that it was excellent.
Is money, bro. The zombies in it, it's the best zombies since Black Ops 2. And they only have one map. And they have Dead Ops Arcade from the original.
I might have to get it. If
bro, you have to get it. They brought back
high praises.
They brought back all the perks. And not only did they bring back Juggernog and Speed Colt, all those, they also added new perks, but they have it so that there's a level system. So you know how before you had to start with a pistol?
Yeah.
Now you can start with an LMG.
Oh my God.
And I was running the LMG the whole game. I got up to around like 22 or something with my starting weapon and pack punch and everything. But now they have it too, so that you have armor on top of Jug, so you can upgrade your armor and upgrade the Juggernog perk, so you'll just take like
more hits.
50% more hits, and you'll be perfectly fine. It's wicked cool, and they have upgrades for everything: weapons, accessories, all that kind of stuff.
It sounds like they just took the gobble gum and they were like, all right, so what if we made this a good system?
Yeah, what if we made this into a system that people actually want? Because that gobble gum was terrible.
It was bad.
It was pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's a great game. I think you should look into it.
I might have to get that.
So we kind of talked about it, but you're an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
What would sway you to go to PlayStation?
Honestly, the only thing they have that would be Spider-Man, but even that's like not really enough.
Yeah. Because like I said before, all of our friends play Xbox. It's just
it's our platform.
It's our platform.
Where all of us are.
And and people ask all the time, why don't you just play PC? Well, first of all, if I'm going to buy a PC, I'm going to want to build it myself, and I'm not spending $1,200 on a PC. And that's just for the PC piece. It's the tower itself. They can get expensive, so I'm gonna have to buy a monitor. I'm gonna have to buy a mouse, a keyboard. The keyboards are wicked expensive nowadays. The games, I'd want a nice graphics card.
That's like the one advantage to PC is a lot of the games are dirt cheap. They're always cycling the sales and stuff. I was like, that's the one super advantage.
Well, I mean, when I have the money to do it, I'll probably get one, because the nice part about PCs is they never go out of date. Like, you just change
literally.
You just change the graphics card.
You have a strong PC. You have a strong PC. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, exactly. And but yeah, I mean, because I was looking at them not too long ago, because I was looking at The Witcher 3 on computer. I played The Witcher 3 on Xbox. I played it through twice fully. And I love that game. And I was like, that'd be a cool game to get on PC, because for a while I was thinking about PC. Jose had talked about getting a PC. And I was like, well, maybe my friends will start switching over to PC. But that price tag's a little high. And then I decided to do this. And this wasn't cheap to get started. So, yeah, I mean, it just kind of didn't work out. But, I mean, I've played both consoles. I've played the PS3, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One. And personally, I like the controller on the Xbox better. I like the interface on Xbox better.
I feel the same way.
And the security on Xbox, I just feel safer playing Xbox. They haven't been hacked by, what was that squad that hacked the Lizard Squad? Oh my God, when they hacked and they took them down for like a month.
That was tragic.
And I know they probably increased their security measures and everything, and then when PlayStation came out and said that they record everything in every party, and I'm sure Microsoft probably does it too, but I don't know. It puts a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, Sony hasn't really been doing so hot with a lot of the PR around PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
it's really been bad, but
yeah. What do you think of the looks of the PS5 versus the Xbox?
The PS5 is massive.
It's huge
for no reason.
Yeah,
it has no business being that.
It literally looks like a trophy,
and it looks ridiculous to me. It does look cool. It's like a futuristic piece of tech. I was like, but it's
why is it so big?
Does it
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't vibe with it that much.
Yeah.
I like the discless design better, but even then it still looks crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's just too big. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then with the Xbox it's just a small cube.
It is.
Just literally just.
And everyone makes fun of it. They're like, "Oh, it looks like a refrigerator."
It
mean,
looks like a computer tower.
I guess, but yeah, exactly. To me, it looks more like a computer tower.
It's just a little. Tower.
And I like the divot on the top. I think that looks cool. But don't get me wrong, I think the PlayStation 5 looks cool too. But like you said, I agree. It's just too big. And especially we're in a time now where we want more space. We want our technology to be smaller.
I tried to map out the new consoles, and I was like, a PlayStation would have to be not on my entertainment stand because it can't fit there.
Exactly. And I already have such little space on my counter. I don't even know how I'd be able to fit that on there. But yeah. So moving on, let's talk about movie adaptations of video games. A few years ago we had Assassin's Creed come out. Did you see that?
I didn't see it, but I saw that a lot of people said that it was very meh and also didn't really do justice to the source material.
Yeah. Well, I really wanted to see it. It had Michael Fassbender in it, and he was playing the assassin
intrigued.
in it.
They had like a star-studded cast, so it had me interested, but it seems like they didn't stick the landing.
Yeah. You know what video game movie that's coming out that looks really good is that Monster Hunter movie with Mila what's-her-face? Jovovich, yeah. She's on in the Resident Evil movies. And Chung Lee, I think is Tony Lee.
I'm not sure.
The Asian guy that's in it.
Yeah.
He's some famous actor too. But that, like, the monsters, the CGI for the monsters, it looks awesome. So I'm really hoping that it's going to be a good movie.
I didn't have hope for it just because of who's directing it, because I mean the Resident Evil movies are like serviceable, but they're like blasphemous to Resident Evil canon and everything. So it's like I would say maybe 4 of the Resident Evil movies, the first one being the best one, are good out of all of the ones that are out.
Yeah, but no, I mean I'm hoping that it's going to be a good movie.
Hopefully.
Because I'm a big fan of the Monster Hunter series.
Did you see Sonic?
I did not. I wanted
great.
to see it. I wanted
Sonic
to see it because
great.
I was one of those people that was like, he looks like a garbage can.
Oh my God, bro. It looks so good now because they changed his design. I don't know. Do you think that was like a marketing stunt or not?
What, to do it and then like switch
to have
it back?
him be ugly and terrible and then make him actually like
I don't
Sonic.
think so. I think they truly wanted to make it their own, and the fans were just like, "What the frick is this?"
I really think that too. I feel like I didn't buy it that they made like a terrible design and then had that one on the back burner because it took them a long time.
Especially
to come
how
back.
much it costs to do that.
Yeah,
and then you have people on their MacBooks that do it for like 10 cents.
Quite literally because. Like you have to make the whole movie with that bad design and then go back and then redo it.
Do the entire thing.
So like that was just a blunder on their part. They're like, oh man, they really don't like this because it looks bad and no one told. Well, I'm sure people told them, but they're like, nah, they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they're like, this is our own thing. So what did you saw it?
Yes.
Did you think it was good?
It was excellent. Yeah. It was actually really good. I can firmly say that was the first good video game movie.
Well, did you see the second one is supposed to have Knuckles in it now?
Oh my God, that's gonna be great.
Yeah. And I was a big fan of the Shadow video games, and I played them on GameCube with Liam, and I really hope they bring Shadow into something that
would
they
be
do.
Really cool.
I think that'd be super
cool. I think they will, because Shadow is, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure he's like a clone of Sonic, like that Eggman made. So I'm sure that they'll make that at some point. If they try to make it some like expanded universe, we can count
It'll
on
be
it.
really cool. I think that's where movies are going to. I think everyone wants to do an expanded universe
wants to do
because they know now that like fans have been asking for expanded universes for years, but now they're finally doing it. And they're like, oh my God, we're making a lot of money. I wonder why.
Yeah, we can print money if we do this.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that's exactly what it is. So you said you're not very excited for the new Monster Hunter movie.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. Are you going to try and watch it at least?
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a watch.
Yeah, I want to check it out. So do you have any video games that you think would make cool movies? Personally, I think Destiny.
Destiny would.
I think Destiny would be awesome.
I feel like in either a show format, in some format of media that is not a video game, would be excellent for Destiny.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Even books. I feel like I'm sure there are books that have already been written.
Yeah. Well, have you heard anything about? Because I know that HBO was supposed to be doing a Last of Us series.
Yes, I think.
Are they still going to do that?
Yeah, I remember seeing literally something today that they had like PlayStation officially announced like they had 9 TV shows and movies and things that are PlayStation game properties that are being developed into movies, TV. Like
I'd love to see God of War as a TV show or something. I think that'd be wicked cool.
I think that would work excellently.
Yeah,
honestly.
And I want to see The Last of Us, but I really hope they don't keep the second one.
I don't know.
They bring the second one into it because if
they do it, I feel like it'd be a one and done. We do the first and that's about it.
Yeah, and I would be perfectly fine if they did like from the first game and then they did the in between to the second game because there's a major time gap in there. Like if they just did that, I would be okay with that. Because
I feel like that would be,
in my opinion, the second game is nothing like what the actual game should have been. Like it just went so far in the opposite direction of the actual personalities of these characters and the actions that they would take in certain situations. Like I just don't think that it was an accurate representation of the people and the characters of The Last of Us.
I saw that a lot. I didn't look into it because I didn't even play the first game. I just know of it, and I know how good of a game it is, but I didn't ever beat it or anything. I think I played like the intro and maybe like 30 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I played through the game fully probably 4 or 5 times. Like, it is my number one game of all time. Like, I love that game. And so when the second one came out and it was trash, I wanted to die. I was not having it. But yeah, let's move on. We both are. We're big fans of the MCU, big fans of comic books in general, comic book movies. So what do you think of superhero movies? Do you think that MCU has better movies than DC?
Oh, for sure.
But how do you think that works? Do you think that Marvel is best in all aspects? Or do you think that DC is good in some aspects as well, like TV shows? Or
DC is killing it right now with their comics.
Yeah.
They're doing excellent.
Yeah.
And Marvel is not doing so hot right now.
You know, Marvel, in my opinion, they haven't done very well with their comics in a while.
Yeah, it's been bizarre, to say the least, for a little while now. And it's like, it's cool, but it's not really good.
Yeah.
It's but beyond that, I think DC started strong with TV shows, live action TV shows, and they kind of fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
Right now they currently are fumbling the bag. And but in terms of movies, definitely Marvel like slams them.
I agree. And I watched, did you ever get to watch Titans?
I did not.
Grace and I watched it, and at least I thought it was pretty good. Like, I mean, I know, and you know how I was about it. I was very critical of it because I didn't like the castings. I didn't like the way that the characters were being portrayed, the age gaps between characters.
I didn't like what they did with Starfire. Like, her powers were just like
she shot fire. Like, she didn't shoot her green beams. She she'd have green eyes, but she'd shoot like fire.
That's whack.
So it was a little weird.
She had to be like recharged by like the sun.
Yeah, she recharges by the sun, so she's like Superman. So it was a little bit weird, but the action in it, like, they did Dick Grayson. Brendan Thwaites did Dick Grayson perfectly. They could not have picked a better actor. Like, he did it perfectly. And Hawk and Dove, great characters, but the story in it, the story was really captivating. And I can appreciate that they had kept some things canon to like the comics and stuff, but they had changed some things, and it made it. I didn't necessarily agree with it, but it was okay because I enjoyed the story and I enjoyed the whole action aspect of it. So I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, you should definitely check it out if you.
My dad is the weirdest one of all. Is like he sung Doom Patrol's praises. Like, he really enjoyed that show. And
I have not watched it.
I have to watch it because I was baffled. I was like, my dad.
They were in Titans for an episode. Yeah, because that's where they get Beast Boy from, because Beast Boy comes from them. But yeah, I really like that. I do have to say, a lot of people give like Batman v Superman hate, and I didn't think it was that bad. Like, I mean, I understand. Like, Martha, I get it. It's bad. It never happened. But at the same time, that was like the only thing I could really nitpick about it.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I feel like people dogpiled on it for like, it's not for no reason. But like, I didn't think it was like truly terrible.
Yeah. And, you know, people give Ben Affleck a really hard time.
They give him too much flack.
They give him a really hard time because I really enjoyed Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman.
I didn't think he did a bad job. I feel like he just didn't get to do enough.
No, because he didn't have his own movie, you know? And I'm really excited for this new Justice League to come out so I can actually see him a little bit more. Because now there's talks of him coming back.
Zack Snyder's got a lot of proving to do, because he's been saying, "Oh, if you guys saw the actual movie, you're gonna love it." I don't know. I gotta see.
I agree.
To believe it.
I agree, but I have to say I'm happy now that we're gonna actually hear about the Green Lanterns, which we should have heard from the first time around, and I'm very glad we're gonna be hearing from Darkseid. You know, that's a major DC character. Like, that's like Thanos. He should.
It was kind of crazy.
Marvel did Thanos from the very first Avengers movie.
It's crazy that they cut him out for Steppenwolf. I was like, don't you kind of need Steppenwolf's like daddy
exactly
for him to answer to?
And the character design for Steppenwolf in the Joss Whedon version was terrible.
DC that's a huge problem with their villains, is the big gray villain. They don't like color. They really do not like color.
No, they don't. And most of their villains are all CG. So, but they're getting better with it. You know, Hollywood is getting better with CG.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, Cheetah's kind of gray too.
Yeah.
Like, really, but like, she did look good.
Yeah, I do have to see 84 and Wonder Woman 84. What's your review on it? What would you say?
Okay, so
non-spoiler review for the people listening.
All right, non-spoiler review. All right, so Wonder Woman 84, I don't think it's better than the first movie, and I think it's a fun movie. This is a Venom type deal.
Yeah,
because Venom is not a very good movie.
Yeah,
but it's a good movie if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's kind of in that vein. Which is strange to say because of like the pedigree, because it's Patty Jenkins and stuff. I will say Gal Gadot killed it in this movie. She is excellent, and so is Pedro Pascal as the main villain. He is excellent in this film.
Yeah.
Yes, they are the two strongest parts of this movie.
You know, I gotta see Mandalorian season 2 still.
Mandalorian season 2 is so good.
Yeah, I saw. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I saw the ending of what happens. That was pretty cool, I gotta say.
That was excellent.
So I have to ask, do you think that the movies do the comics justice?
On Marvel's side, most definitely. They even surprised me with like the things they pull. They'll pull from like storylines that are not popular, and they'll make them like canon in the MCU, and it's really cool to see. And then on DC's front, I think they're really weird about it because they take from all of the sources like how Marvel does, but they're just not really clean about it. Mm-hmm. They don't have a good way to institute it, and they just let it run wild.
Yeah.
And it's really present in movies like Birds of Prey. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that. And another one too, which was a good movie, was Joker. But it followed no source of material. I mean, they said they did, but I mean, watching it, I don't know where they're
honestly, with Joker, I was completely fine with that.
I was too, because they had explained. They're like,
amazing.
This is not the Joker.
Yes.
This is the guy that inspires Joker to be Joker. So I was okay with that. But it was just kind of weird, the whole dynamic with Joker and Batman's father, or Thomas Wayne. For me, at least, I just didn't, it was weird for me.
I feel like it was kind of shoehorned in, honestly.
Yeah.
It felt kind of unnecessary. Like, it was an interesting plot point if they had just left it ambiguous. Like, the mom might have been crazy, might have not been.
Yeah. I agree. I forgot about that because she was kind of insane. But I don't know. I feel like they felt the need that they had to throw some sort of Batman reference in there. And I just don't think it was right.
Like, I don't think it definitely wasn't bad, because it could have been way worse. Like, it could have been like, oh, look, Batman's in the cut in the back over there. There he is. And I like the way they implemented it, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like they didn't have to go as hard as they did, because it being like the crescendo of the movie, like when Thomas Wayne punches him, that's what finally breaks Arthur all the way. I was like, it was good. Like, it was amazing in the moment, but I was like, I feel like it should have been something else.
Yeah. Because that was like, was that really the thing?
That was like, this shouldn't have been his like focus so hard.
Yeah, no, I agree. So you are a huge Spider-Man fan. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I have a Spider-Man costume. I should have brought the mask down out of here. So what do you think of the Spider-Man 3 castings?
Man, that movie's shaping up to be something special.
It's going to be something insane,
That movie's
bro.
going to be crazy.
I can't wait. When I heard, and I had been predicting from ever since Multiverse came out with the Miles Morales movie, the animated movie, when they're like, oh yeah, this is the multiverse. I was like, they're going to do that. And I had said, I was like, watch, they're going to bring in like Tobey Maguire. And if they do, I'm going to be hype, because I grew up with Tobey Maguire. You grew up with Tobey Maguire. That was our original Spider-Man. I know you're a big fan of Tom Holland. I'm not against Tom Holland, but in my eyes, not Andrew Garfield, but Tobey Maguire. That's my Spider-Man. He's always been the OG, and I just liked the character portrayal of him. And I've read some Spider-Man. I've read quite a few Spider-Man comics, and I just feel that because Spider-Man, he's a kid. He makes mistakes and stuff. But I just feel like the new movies are a little too campy. You know, there's a little too much like, oh, like here's this love story, you know, and like just stupid things that happen, like jokes that I don't see that Spider-Man would make, because Spider-Man's supposed to be this really intelligent, funny kid, you know, and I feel like when it comes to Tom Holland's adaptation, and it's not his fault, it's just the writing, I feel like they don't really show his sciencey side all that much as they did with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield even. You know, like I think the biggest thing that they really did with Tom Holland was like when they showed him mixing the web fluid. Like that's okay, cool.
That's like a problem a lot of people have with Tom Holland's portrayals, because they don't let him use his mind a lot because he's overshadowed by Tony. And I feel like that's why it's kind of good that he's gone now. Is like because they can let him breathe. They can actually have him use it, develop himself, and show his smarts. I feel like a huge thing is going to be him and Riri, when she's in the show, are probably going to like be really good friends, and him and Shuri also. I don't know what they're going to do with Black Panther 3. I didn't even. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I'm wondering what they're going to do with that.
Yeah.
I think they might make Shuri the new queen.
That'd
or whatever.
Really cool.
I think it'd be cool. I mean, I rather would have had Chadwick, but I mean, God rest his soul. I mean, you can't change that. And I couldn't believe it when I found out that Chadwick had passed.
I was so sad because it was out of.
Yeah, he died on your birthday. That's crazy. Like we were sitting out and around the fire, and her cousin's boyfriend's just like, Chadwick Boseman just died. And I was
like so casual.
Yeah,
like
mad casual, just like, yeah, Chadwick Boseman just died. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, he's just dead. I was like, oh.
That was
wow.
so shocking because it's like he's young. You would think
he's young, and there were no signs of it.
Yeah, you would. I figured it was like, oh, he was in a car accident or something. And they said cancer, and I was just like,
yeah.
I mean, baffled.
Looking back and watching the videos of like his lives and stuff, you could tell he was super skinny. I thought he was just filming a movie or something. You know, there's a lot of method actors out there that just lose a lot of weight for movies and stuff. Look at Christian Bale. You know, for The Machinist, he lost like 120 pounds. He literally weighed like 110 pounds.
It's really sad with hindsight because I saw a lot of people said things like that. They're like, "Why are you so skinny and stuff?" But he had
couldn't
cancer.
Tell
them.
Yeah. He just didn't want to tell.
He didn't want to make them sad.
Yeah, and you know, it makes me wonder though. You know, if Marvel had known, because the director of Black Panther and Kevin Feige said they didn't know. Or at least I think Kevin Feige said that he didn't know. I know the director definitely said that he didn't know. So do you think that if they had known, they wouldn't have even brought him on?
I feel like they might have still kept him because really, like,
or they would have changed the way that the movie ended.
Maybe I feel like they might have been story beats that might have been different, so they could have avenues that, because this is kind of like what do we do now? Yeah, like this is like a huge thing that just happened. How do we navigate this?
Caught him off guard. Yeah. But you know, I'm glad that he didn't tell them, because I think that he was perfect for the role. And I hate seeing characters die in movies, especially when they're so strong for so long, and then there's just like some stupid happens and then they die. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that it's very realistic.
I feel like they're not gonna have him like die in combat or anything in the movies. Like for the like laying him to rest, I feel like it's gonna be. I don't even know what they can.
Maybe they'll have it like be like his dad, like a building collapses or something.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's the only way I can see it. Or they're just gonna be like he's out on business. I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with it. But yeah, for Spider-Man 3, I cannot wait for Tobey. And you know, I'm a big Daredevil fan.
Yes.
A big Charlie Cox Daredevil. Vincent D'Onofrio. He is a great Kingpin. I love what's her face as Karen Page, and the guy that plays Foggy. There's a lot of rumors going around that he's going to be in Spider-Man 3. There's a lot of rumors just happening. Well, this year was the end of Marvel's 2-year term with Netflix, so now they can legally use all of the Defenders.
Now it's their rights back.
I really hope that they squeeze Charlie Cox into Spider-Man 3.
At this point, they might as well, because I feel I've been seeing a lot of people too making the comparison. They're like, we're about to have another Spider-Man 3 Part 2. There's too much going on. And I was like, I don't think so, because this is Marvel doing this. They've done this 10 times now. Yeah. This is nothing to them. Ain't no thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, did you see that they want to do 3 different trilogies with Tom Holland? they wanted to do his high school years, 3 movies as high school, 3 movies in college, and then 3 movies afterwards. So he's going to imagine if he has 9 solo movies. Imagine how many Avengers movies and crossovers he's going to do. He'll have more cameos and time in than Hugh Jackman and Robert Downey Jr. That's going to be crazy to see.
As he should.
As he should, though. And he's young, so he can do it.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's the key to building a real universe, is having at least one constant. You know, and that's what made the original Avengers so great, was because, yeah, they added new characters, but they kept the original characters to the last Avengers movie. And I think that was very important.
As important is literally the passing of the torch, is Robert Downey Jr. giving it to Tom Holland, quite literally.
And, you know, I think it was supposed to be Captain Marvel, but she has gotten so much controversy, Brie Larson.
Victoria, I didn't look into it, but she said that they might even be looking into replacing Brie Larson.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, that is unfortunate. And I feel like a lot of people now are having their like having their views challenged about her, because they're like, oh, they're just being mean to her because she's a woman. And I was like, it was never ever that. I was like, it was like, it's not just them. I was like, a lot of people have problems with Brie Larson. Like, people have worked with her, studios have worked with her, they don't like her. And I was like, it's not just because she has the first solo movie. I didn't even think she deserved that. It definitely should have been Scarlet first.
Oh, I agree.
Widow. And I was like, she's just like, something's off with her.
Yeah, no, I agree. And she's very opinionated, you know, and it's just so funny. Like, people talk about privilege. She is the definition of privilege. She'll really go out on stage and be like, we need more colored representation in these movies. And then, like, they'll call her out and be like, okay, so why can't we have a black Captain Marvel? And then she has nothing to say. Like, so when it comes to threatening your job, now you're not so righteous, right? Because it has nothing to do with that. It's just the way that these characters are. These characters are already real things, and to change them and do these things to them, create more characters. That's fine. Bring in characters that aren't as popular and make them more popular, you know? You don't need to make Batman some Hispanic guy. You don't need to make Captain Marvel some black girl. Make new characters. That's why Black Panther was great, because they brought an actual character that brought a colored person into the universe, you know? And that's what I agree. There should be more diversity in Hollywood. There should be more diversity in these movies, you know? It's a superhero movie. This is what inspires kids. It's what inspired me as a kid, you know? And I think it's important that there's accurate representation of each culture, but at the same time, keep the source material, keep it the way it should be, you know? Stop changing things. Honestly. And it's just, I think that's what ruins a lot of things too. A lot of movies that try and adapt things in their own way, and people don't like it because there's always going to be that group of comic book lovers like us that are going to want the actual representation. And yes, like I said before, I'm fine with straying away from it, but at least the characters need to be the characters, you know? But yeah.
Honestly, the one example of that I can think of that was done well in a way that, like, because I wasn't for it at all, was Zendaya playing MJ in Spider-Man. I was really against that. Yeah. And then when I actually saw it, I was like, this is actually really good. I liked the way that they had adapted her, because they did it well. And you know, it turns out she wasn't even really MJ.
Yeah. And that's why it made me okay with it, but at the same time, I'm not okay with it because, like, what happened to MJ? Like, the real MJ. What happened to Gwen? You know? I mean, yeah, it's a new love interest. I can understand that. I just have never... It's just weird to me, you know? The past 2 representations of Spider-Man have had actual Spider-Man girlfriends in it, so to throw in some new character that's, like, a nobody, I guess. And she's not a nobody, but, like, yeah, she, in the movie sense, she's a nobody. Like, we've never heard of her before. But I think it's cool at the same time. They want to do something new. They want to do something fresh, just like they didn't do his origin. You know, they wanted it to be different.
That's why I was on board with it more when I, like, saw her in action. I was like, okay. I was like, this is someone new. I was like, not even really, because they do take aspects of Mary Jane, and she's part of her, but she's not Mary Jane, and that's what I liked. I was like, okay, so you're not trying to, like, act like MJ is not real at all.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that, you know. So what are you most excited for about Spider-Man 3?
I definitely want to see the symbiote in some form.
That would be cool.
Way.
That would be cool.
I want to see it so
bad.
Bad.
Are we supposed to see Venom?
I don't think so, but I feel like it'll be like, there might be like,
because they've been talking about it. Yeah.
If he's not like actively involved, there might be like
Him
them
walking
traveling,
by.
them traveling with Doctor Strange through dimension, and then it'll be like, oh look, there's Eddie in the background.
That would be cool. That would be really cool. What do you think is going to be the plot? What do you think is going to happen?
I have no idea. I remember literally when I saw that Benedict Cumberbatch got casted for it, I was like, I was like, what are they gonna do? I was like, this threw me for a loop because I was like, this wasn't what I was expecting to happen. I don't know because it's Identity Crisis, the setup for the end of Far From Home.
Yeah,
well, I always get messed up with the name.
And I know they're bringing back the original guy that played Doc Ock.
Yes,
there was
Alfred
talks
Molina.
Of bringing back Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, but what I had heard is that they're going into all these different universes, but each hero is going to fight their respective villain. Oh. So they might like pop in and see Tobey Maguire, but he's already fighting or something, and then he goes in and helps, talks to him maybe, and then they move on to the next thing.
I see.
Maybe they'll come with him, and then they'll do some big fight at the end.
That would be pretty.
But
cool.
that's what I was hearing was that it was going to be jumping from dimension to dimension.
I don't know who like the central villain would be, but like depending on who it is, that may be like how they do it.
Yeah,
like they need to recruit the different Spider-Men.
Well,
it may actually, now that I'm thinking about it more with the way that it's set up, it may be Morbius as the villain.
That could be,
because if it's the Spider-Verse, that's why they need the spider totems.
And I was thinking with Benedict Cumberbatch in it, he's in it, and he's got his own Into the Multiverse.
Wasn't Sony developing a Morbius movie too?
Yes, they are.
I forgot about that.
But they're doing the
Morbius.
Multiverse of Madness is Doctor Strange's movie, and Scarlet Witch is supposed to be in it, and then he just got casted in this. Maybe it's gonna be a Doctor Strange villain.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
maybe it's gonna be a new big bad, because I had heard when the last phase ended, what was it? Phase 4 was the final phase. When that phase had ended, the theory was that there's going to be 2 dimensions within the universe now. So there's going to be a domestic fighting, and there's going to be spatial fighting, and that's why at the end of Avengers you saw Nick Fury on Sword, which is like for galactic things. So Galactus was one, and Doctor Doom was the other one, and or it was Doctor Doom. I think Green Goblin was like, but they were supposed to be the domestic ones, so that would be like certain characters fighting them, and then there'd be the more cosmic movies where it would be like Fantastic Four fights people and Avengers fights people, but Spider-Man's down here, but he goes back and forth. I think that's what they're going to try and go with. It's going to be like 2 different things, so we might be seeing 2 wildly different things going on. So like Spider-Man will come out and be one thing, and then you'll see like the Fantastic Four movie and they're out in space or something, I
feel like that's the contrast they're going for. Is like, because now we've built a universe where this all happens. Like, you've seen it already.
And now they're trying to expand it. Yeah. I think it'll be cool, but
definitely.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a great
movie is going to do a lot of carrying and lay a lot of groundwork for the future.
Oh, for sure. So are you excited for any Marvel shows on Disney Plus?
I definitely want to see.
You have Disney Plus?
Yes.
You do?
I definitely want to see Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
It looks good.
I'm really ready to watch that.
Yeah. I want to see that. I want to see that Loki show. The Vision Wanda, in my opinion, doesn't look that cool. It looks kind of weird.
I think it looks interesting.
It does look interesting.
It's so like out of character for Marvel. It's literally like a 50s sitcom, but it's also like eldritch horror at the same time.
It just seems weird to me.
It's like a weird vibe. I'm really interested in watching it just because I don't know what it is.
I'll check it out. Watching the trailer, I was like, what is this? But it'll be cool to see how they explain Vision coming back, because he's dead. Sorry for the spoilers, but if you haven't watched Avengers by now,
that's your own fault.
Yeah, that's your own fault. I mean,
it's too late.
Not that this is Marvel or anything, but I'm really I like I was talking about earlier, Mandalorian. I want to see season 2. I cannot wait for that Obi-Wan series.
Yes,
that Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
It's gonna be so fire.
They're bringing back what's that guy's name? Christian.
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen, yeah, as Darth Vader. That's cool. They're bringing back like original people, and you know, people gave Hayden Christensen a lot of crap.
Hayden Christensen is amazing.
And as soon as he was cast, though, I didn't see anything but like, oh my god, this is awesome!
It's
like,
because-
y'all are so fake. Y'all are so fake out there. Like, he was a
I'm about to
terrible
call
actor.
out all these fake Star Wars heads because the prequels are better than the sequels. I'm sorry, I have to say it.
You think so?
Yes, not with hindsight. They're first of all, they're the movies I grew up with.
Yeah.
So I already had a soft spot for them.
Yeah.
They're the ones that I saw first. And then the newer movie, they're not like garbage. I will never say that. I was like, but the prequels are definitely way better because, and not only because they came first, but they have more to them. We have more groundwork and more backstory for them. We have the Clone Wars. We have a bunch with the Mandalorian now. Automatically ups the prequels values like 1,000,000%.
Oh yeah.
Mandalorian by itself, as bad as like aspects of the prequels were, will nullify all of them because it's so much better than
and you know,
anything
like,
else.
The prequels, they really weren't that bad.
They weren't.
Like the Attack of the Clones, that was my favorite movie.
A lot of Star Wars fans were too young watching those movies because they're like political dramas.
Yeah.
And now if you rewatch them, you're like, oh, I understand why this is happening now.
Yeah.
And I get the gravity of these situations.
Yeah.
It makes more sense now that we can grasp the concepts.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. I think the originals are the best. I think the prequels are right there with them because that's what I grew up with was the prequels. You know, I went to the showing of the third movie, Revenge of the Sith. And, right? That was the third movie, Revenge of the Sith?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, because the original one was Return of the Jedi. But I have to say, I did not like the new ones. I didn't like any of the new ones. I mean, that's a lie. The first of the three
Awakens was great.
Was okay. I like that one. Return of the Jedi, not Return of the Jedi. It was The Last Jedi. Was terrible in my opinion. Like that is because like I said before, I'm one of those guys. I want the source material. I want it to be true. I don't want it to be like what happened. And them killing off Luke Skywalker the way they did and having him just completely denounce the Jedi way was not Luke Skywalker. I'm sorry. That's not Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, it wasn't. That movie was a movie.
It was pretty disappointing.
And then the last Skywalker, I liked it for the spectacle. That movie was bombastic.
Yeah.
It was quite amazing.
It was cool. Like they did a good job with it. I just like I said, like I don't think that the story was the best that it could have been.
The second movie really, I don't know what was going on with them, but whatever happened to let that happen really threw a wrench in everything. Them not letting J.J. Abrams have control of his trilogy really messed everything up because having Rian Johnson come in and inject his ideas when it's not. That wasn't his thing to do. Yeah, was really bad because it literally the Rose Finn sequence didn't have that could have been cut from the movie. And nothing would have been lost.
Oh yeah,
quite literally nothing would have been lost.
No, I agree with you, and
that's like most of the movie.
Yeah, Finn, his what do you know his name in real life? Chris something? Is it Chris Oloiga or something?
John Boyega.
John Boyega, that's right. He is like attacking Marvel because they really marketed it as like he was going to be the first black Jedi, rising up, showing becoming the Jedi. They did him bad
because in the Force Awakens it was really set up like we knew Rey was the Jedi, really like the main Force sensitive one, but they hinted at it so heavily that Finn might be Force sensitive too. Yeah, and then they just kind of completely backshelved him, and then that was it.
Yeah, no, I think it was wrong because
it was bad.
I mean,
because I really enjoyed his character,
and they said too, and they hinted at him being sensitive to the Force. So, and then like in the third one, they just like completely cut him out. Really, he wasn't in very much of any of it. Like maybe like 10 minutes of it. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't like the ending of how everything went down with Ben and Rey and Palpatine. It was weird, you know. It didn't really make sense, you know. Yeah. And these new movies, they do not know how to have lightsaber fights. Like it literally looks like they're just like pen fighting with each other.
It makes me sad that they don't really have the choreography. Like that's another the prequel movies.
Prequels they killed it.
They did it even better than the original.
The originals,
movies.
I agree with you.
They were killing it.
They killed it. Like they're spinning them and shit. Oh
They
my
were
god, bro!
crazy.
It was awesome.
It's so cool.
It was awesome. I loved it. So, what do you think of DCEU joining HBO Max with their releases?
I love it. I watched Wonder Woman 84 on release, so I caved. They got me.
What do you think that's going to do to movie theaters? Like, do you think that Marvel and other developers are going to follow in their footsteps?
That whenever this is done with COVID, that movie theaters are not going to be how we know them anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be
a really
different.
different experience because most of them are definitely going to close.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think that in today's climate they can even survive anymore. Like Regal is going out of business, AMC is going out of business. As
much as I enjoy the HBO Max decision to do that, that was also really terrible of them to do. It was really bad.
No, I agree.
Because it was kicking a horse while they were down. The movie theaters are already struggling, but for them to be like, all right, so now these newest releases will come out simultaneously on our service where you don't have to leave your house and pay an atrocious amount of money to go sit in a theater. You can watch it.
But see,
I used to work at AMC, so that sucks for me on my end because I lost my job.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I always liked going to the movies.
I love going to the movies. I don't even though I was just dogging it for how much it costs. It's an experience. It's fun to do.
It is fun to do, and Cinema Saver,
even that,
they're cheap, and you can go and watch movies up there. But that's it's the experience. You could go and sit behind a huge screen, get your popcorn, get your candy, your drinks.
I think it was cool, and it's the future, but it does make me sad, because I hope that it doesn't collapse the industry all the way. Because if HBO Max was probably the worst one, the first to do it because it's the biggest, is Warner.
Yeah.
So, if anybody follows in their footsteps, that's pretty much game there.
Well, I saw there's been more drive-in movie theaters popping up.
I've been seeing that, and I thought that was really cool.
Do you think they're going to make a comeback?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that the way we're headed, because now everyone's in health crisis mode, and everyone's going to be thinking about, oh, I'm going to get sick. Do I need to wash my hands? It's just going to be less of a hassle, and they're going to be like, oh, let's go to the drive-in movie theater. And you kind of get the same.
Those are a fun experience too.
Yeah,
I've been to drive-in a bunch of times because throughout my childhood, it was something we used to do. Because there's one in Scranton that my mom used to take us to all the time.
Yeah,
it's a fun experience. It's really, if you've never done it, you should definitely do it.
Yeah, you tune into the radio station and everything. That's awesome. I've actually never been to a drive-in movie. My sister's been. My mom and dad have obviously been, but I have never gone. But yeah. So, you know that you've gone to RoberCon with me. You know that I cosplay. What do you think of cosplaying?
Cosplaying is really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what do you think? I was thinking about this the other day. What makes you want to cosplay? You've done small cosplay. What is the driving force? What makes you think I want to dress up as this guy?
Honestly, the main factor is really if you just look cool. That's the driving factor. If a character looks cool, you're like, damn, I want to look like them.
Yeah, I agree.
Really cool.
Spider-Man, Batman, Daredevil. I've always wanted to do an actual Daredevil suit. I've done the you saw I did my version 1 Matt Murdock one where he's got the thing over his head and everything. And I just think they look awesome. You look badass, I'd love to be one of those guys playing Batman on a movie studio and have $100,000 suit. I'd feel badass.
Those are so cool.
Yeah.
People that go hard for cosplay, shout out to you for real. It's I see some of the videos of them making props and stuff, and I'm like, you guys are insane. I was like, the dedication, the attention to detail.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And it's a hobby for perfectionists, really.
For real. I've seen people have a whole piece sculpted. It looks immaculate to me, and they're like, "This is trash," and throw it away. It's Warbler, expensive material. I'm like, oh my god.
Yep. Yeah. No. So, what do you think of the culture behind cosplay?
I think cosplay culture is really cool. So like a lot of the people I see that do it and stuff, like they're streamers and stuff, is just like people like us.
Yeah,
they're nerds.
They're nerds. You know, I have to say though, I have to say, and I'm sorry if you're one of these people, but if you go to a Comic-Con and you're with a group of friends and every single one of you are dressed as Deku, go home. Go home. We do not need that many anime people at a convention. I'm sorry. But no, don't get me wrong. I love anime. There's some animes that I enjoy. But I feel there are definitely some characters that like people just cosplay constantly.
Yeah, that happens. It's like Deadpool is like everybody.
Deadpool, Spider-Man too. But that's why like with my Spider-Man, I like to add my own twist to it.
I will say with Deadpool, people are very not original, but a lot of Spider-Man people make their own costumes.
Yeah, those
are really cool. I really like those.
Yeah, we'll get our own costumes, or we'll make our own web shooters, or something to add our own touch to it. You know, but the other thing with at least, I don't want to say Comic-Con culture, but cosplay culture is there's always those furries. And it's weird to me. So like for me, that's not me. Like I'm just a nerdy guy. Like I like to watch like superhero movies. I like to play video games. Like my cosplay is dressing up as Batman or Daredevil or something. And then there's people out there that like want to dress up as that wolf thing from that weird Netflix show that just came out. You know, like yeah, now you have a tail and a weird hat on, but I don't know. It's just not for me. So it kind of like when I talk about cosplay and I talk about the conventions that I go to, people just look at me like I'm so weird, and I just want to explain to them like it's not that, like not everyone is like that. You know what I'm saying? Like not everyone is a public furry.
That's unfortunate that because it happens. Like and originally that's what con culture was. It's just like really it was the weirdest people. Yeah. But it was nice for them. That's also good.
Yeah, no, like
for them to congregate.
And I like what I like about the con community is that people aren't judging.
Yes, that's like the one plus.
As I'm out here judging right now, I would never go to a con and judge somebody at a con. You know, like that's not okay. That's not acceptable. It's just my own personal opinion. Like I've never. You know, like I said, it's not a bother to me really, but like trying to explain that to other people it makes you look like something you're completely not.
Honestly, you just gotta kind of be like, yeah, like it's a thing.
So do you wanna what's a Comic-Con you wanna go to?
Definitely New York Comic Con at the very least because it's the closest one. But obviously San Diego Comic Con.
I'd love to go to San Diego Comic Con. I would love it. They always have such good guests and they have such good panels.
If the pandemic wasn't raging on right now, I feel like this would have been the year we could have actually gone.
Honestly, it really was because I actually was like thinking about that. I had the money finally.
We're old enough. We can do it ourselves. Like it's finally the time. We've been talking about doing this since we met. Yeah,
like literally back in 6th grade. It's always been something that we've wanted to do. So. If you go to the like New York City Comic Con and you have it planned out, would you cosplay for it?
I don't think I would.
No?
I don't know if I don't know. Cuz it's like the work I have to put in, I know I wouldn't do it. Yeah. So I wouldn't like do whatever character I'm trying to be justice. Yeah. And I feel like it's not worth it at that point if I'm not into it.
That's why I like to go with characters like with the Daredevil one, for example. Like it was that I ordered off of Amazon. You know, like it was just like stuff I put together and made myself, but it looks just like the show version of it because I looked up what they had bought and the designs that they had, and I have some different stuff, but I nailed it pretty close, you know, and I think that like when you're first starting with cosplay, that's the best thing to do is don't go out and try and make something. Don't try and do foam. Don't do none of that. Like pick a character like Constantine or something like where you just got to buy a white shirt, some khakis, and a trench coat. You know what I'm saying? And you can kill it, and everyone will know who you are. You know, and but I think that if you wanted to do it, but you were afraid to like start it and then not finish it, look into that. Like look into just thrift shopping or something, like order it off of Amazon. Like I put my entire Daredevil costume together for like $75, and I had so many people come up to me and ask me for pictures like, oh my god, it's Daredevil. Like I think the most money I spent was on the pants, and that was it. So
that was a good costume. I remember that.
Yeah, I love that costume.
See, but I feel like if because I always wanted to go to one of those big Comic Cons.
Yeah.
If I were I couldn't just show up in a rinky-dink Amazon costume. Like those
No.
people are next level.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I always
we
hated
go to
too.
Ones around here, we go to the one up in Elmira, and that's fine because people are on that scale as well. But going to San Diego or New York, it's like.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta be ready. And one thing I don't like about local cons is you could really go to Walmart and buy a wig and put the wig on and be like, I'm Matilda, and then you could go and enter the costume contest and win. Or you could buy a costume off of Amazon, go up on the stage and win. No, that's not how it should be. It should be which is the most, unique, who put in the most effort into their costume, and whose looks the best.
I remember the last time we went to RoboCon, I saw this really crazy elaborate. It was the Daedric armor from Skyrim.
That's right, yeah.
That guy went crazy. It was amazing, and he didn't even win.
He didn't win second or third.
Yeah, it was some Spider-Gwen costume that was definitely bought.
It was Raven.
Yeah,
that was Raven.
And then something else, and it was and it's not to knock them, but what?
Yeah. No, I mean, and Raven did do work on her costume. I know she did. And I think that everyone should have a chance at it, but don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's not a participation trophy. This award, it should be a nice award, and it should be given to the person that put the most time and effort into their costume. Like that guy, for example. How many hours do you think he put in building that costume for that con?
I can't even imagine. There was another one too that we saw that was the silver armor. That big thing.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And when we went to the one in Elmira, there were Game of Thrones people that had real capes and stuff that they had made. They had said that they had made the whole costume and everything, and you could see the hands stitching and everything. And then who ended up winning that?
It was different categories. I remember that one.
They had stormtroopers.
Tinkerbell won.
Oh my God, that's right.
She had made it, but the thing was the wings obviously were store bought.
Yeah.
The only thing she made that went into a Tinkerbell costume was the dress.
Yeah.
And she had her ass this part of her was showing you saw her ass cheek, and I was just so slutty Tinkerbells are winning over Game of Thrones
honestly, her costume was a 4 out of 10, and those Game of Thrones costumes were 10 out of 10s. There was Ghostbusters there, the dude made his entire Ghostbusters pack and everything. And he did win something, but he didn't the people that you would have thought would win didn't even come close.
Yeah.
It was very I wouldn't want to say upsetting, but it kind of was upsetting. How could you let that happen? But of course, the guy that was announcing the whole thing, it was his girlfriend that won.
Yeah.
And he was dressed up as Deadpool.
Yeah, he was a fat Deadpool, a beer belly Deadpool. So if you were to ever do a cosplay, what would your cosplay be?
Honestly, probably Luke Cage.
Yeah.
It's the easiest one I could think of.
Yeah.
And I think it looks the coolest, his original 70s outfit.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is that the one where he's got the braces and everything.
He's got
the headband. Yeah. So thank you for coming on, Bryan. This was an amazing episode. I hope to do another one, when we have some more stuff to talk about. I definitely have more things I want to talk about, but I don't want to make the episode too long, But yeah, if you guys enjoy this kind of episode where we talk about pop culture, movies, video games, all that kind of stuff, let us know in the comments below. If you're listening, follow us on our Instagram and our Facebook group, and you can comment on there what you think of the show. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us, and I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.